Hey guys, Phil here, hope you're all well. What you're looking at in front of you are my retro 90s vintage PC speakers. Now the other day I needed to go into my loft to get these because I needed them for a project I've been working on, and I got them out the loft, hooked them up, tested them, and they developed a fault, so I need to repair them. So yeah, if you stick around, I'll crack on with that. What I want to do first is I want you to listen to the fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power on the speakers and I'm going to gently turn up the volume, and hopefully you can hear that. That buzzing, I've got to speak really loud because it is a very, very loud buzzing. So I'll turn the volume now and switch them off. But yeah, that's the fault, guys. I've got to try and repair. Now I'm pretty confident I know what the fault is. If you take a look at modern day PC speakers, they're powered from USB. Generally the USB coming out of your motherboard on your PC is very, very clean. There'll be some localized filtering going on and some localized capacitance that will filter that rail. That's on the USB, and when you connect the speakers to them, it's a very, very clean rail and you're getting little to zero hum. But the problem with these speakers is their mains powered, and inside this one there's a transformer that drops the input, which is obviously 240 volts. It drops it down to 9 volts AC. That gets rectified. It then goes through a capacitor to smooth the rail out, and then obviously that power goes on to power the amplification circuit. But the problem with these, and you'll find this with retro speakers like these, especially ones that are mains powered, when that capacitor starts to drift out of spec, basically it starts to go bad, what happens is it starts to couple some of the AC waveform over, and that gets bled into the amplification stage, and that's what that humming is. That humming is 50 hertz hum coming from the AC. So yeah, what I need to do is replace that filter cap that's in here, the main filter cap. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to recap the old system, right? Because if I'm in there, I might as well do them all instead of just replacing one. But like I said, if you pick up a pair of speakers like this from a car boot sale or eBay or something like that, and you find they're buzzing like this, it's going to be that filter cap. So yeah, I need to get into this one and start replacing capacitors on the board that's inside. Let's get inside this speaker. Now this speaker has all the electronics inside. The other one's just a dummy housing. It's just got a speaker inside of it. So what I need to do is I need to get inside this one. It should be super easy. There's 4 screws. There's one. Two. Three, and the final one is here. Yeah, there we go. It's 4. Yeah. Turn it this way, you can see it better. There we go. There's our PCB, there's not much to it, is there? What I need to do now is take off the power button and the volume knob, because obviously I need to get inside this thing so I can get the board out. Now I don't know whether you can see down there, there's a little captive nut connected to the volume knob, and I just need to get in and break that. Obviously when I say break it, I don't mean break it, I just mean knock it off basically. If I can get to it, be a pain. There we go, got it. What I can do now is, now it's slackened off, I can just see if I can turn that. Needs a little bit more. There we go. Hopefully I can spin it now. Come on, stop being a pain. Typical. Come on. There we go. See, that should be coming off. There we go. The nut and washers come off. Now hopefully this should come off now. And there we go. Got more room. I can work on the PCB. If we take a look at the PCB, guys, there's not much to it. So how many capacitors do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to see what value and see what voltage these capacitors are, and see if I've got them, and then obviously I can replace them. But if we take a look at this one here, this one will be the main filter cap. We know that because it's near the rectification. So here's our full bridge rectifier. So our AC, you can see, it says here it's labeled AC, comes in, it gets rectified, then it gets smoothed by this main filter cap, and this will be the one that's going, and that's why it's humming, because obviously this is AC, and when this starts to drift and fail, that some of that AC leaks through over to the amplification stage, and that's why we get our hum. So yeah, if you pick up a pair of these speakers, guys, and they're humming and you just want a quick repair, this is the one you want to replace. But yeah, like I said, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down what values these capacitors are, and then see if I've got any. So what I've done is I went through the circuit and I wrote down all the values for the capacitors. I'll go through them. The first one here, the big one, this one just here, is the main filter capacitor. It's 1000 microfarad, 16 volts. Then we've got two 330 microfarad at 16 volts, and then that's these two just here. And then we've got three 47 microfarad at 16 volts, and that's these three just here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look, see if I've got these in stock, and if I do, I'll replace all the capacitors on this board. Good news, I've got all those capacitors. So yeah, let's recap this board. Okay, now you can probably hear my desoldering station whirring away in the background. What I'm going to do is replace this main filter cap. I'm only going to show you how to do one. I mean, if I show you how to do one, it's just the same as doing the rest of them, right? So I'm going to give you a tip. Guys, what I do when I'm replacing capacitors is I like to take a Sharpie and I'll make a little dot right there like that. So that indicates where the negative band of the capacitor is. Now you may be asking, why do you do that? Well, you can never trust the silk screen, guys. If you trust the silk screen, you can come a cropper. I've seen boards where the silk screen is incorrectly marked, you know, and it's just a nightmare. So the best thing to do before you take the old cap out is just get a Sharpie and put a little black dot where the negative leg is. Now my soldering station, my desoldering station should be warmed up by now. So I'm just going to come along. Just going to that one off. There we go. Should be able to take this out now, and you can see it's been glued in, but there we go, that's out. And you can see this silk screen is correctly marked because you've got the silk screen indicating that this is a negative. What I want to do is I just want to get this started, so I'm going to hold it in with my finger like that. I'm going to get some solder onto my iron, and I'm just going to tack that there like that. That should hold in the capacitor. So now I can come along and solder the other leg. Just leave it on there for a second, let the heat transfer. And the same on the other leg. Just take my wire cutters. These are a bit blunt now, been using them so long now. But yeah, there you go. That's that capacitor replaced. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do the rest off camera. And as you can see, the board's been recapped, some nice new caps on there. If I turn it over, I'll show you what I've done. I've also done a little mod. I've added a 100 nanofarad ceramic capacitor across the main filter cap. Now if you know about electronics, you'll know what that's for. If you don't, Google it. But yeah, what I need to do now is get this all back together. Obviously I'll do that off camera, because it's just in reverse and taking it apart. Sorry for laughing, guys. I'll put the last clip at the end of the video, what just happened. But yeah, the speakers have been recapped. And yeah, let's give this a test. Let's power on. And let's turn up the volume and see if we get any buzzing. And we're at max right now, and I can hear a tiny, I mean it's so minute, can hear a little tiny bit of hum, but as you can see we're at maximum volume. So yeah, I think these things are fixed. What I'm going to do now is get something I can plug the 3.5mm headphone connector into, and we can have a listen and see if these sound okay. So what I went and did was I got my mobile phone, I plugged in the 3.5mm headphone jack into it. I've got some guy I've just found on YouTube. I don't know who it is, but he sounds like an absolute boss. So yeah, let's turn the volume up on the speakers and see if we get anything. Is go around and remove all the screws. That is, you can already see there's one missing from here. So I mean, these speakers go really loud, guys. Full volume. Let's turn that down because that is too loud. But yeah, I think they're fixed, guys. Winner, winner. I mean about this tool. The only tool there is you, mate. There you go, guys. My nice 90s retro speakers are working again. No more hum. If I turn up the volume, you can hear them. They're as quiet as a mouse now. Now, like I said, what probably caused it was this main filter cap here drifted, and it's basically going bad, and it wasn't filtering out that AC, and that was getting coupled in to the amplification stage, and that's what was causing the hum. Now, if you pick up a pair of speakers like this, like old retro speakers that are mains powered, and you find they're humming, go inside and replace the main filter cap. You probably won't need to do the rest of them, but I was in this thing anyway, and I had them on hand, so I might as well just recap the whole speaker system. But yeah, there you go, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Winner. My speakers are working. Catch you next time, guys. Okay, we're all recrapped. Recrapped. That's going on at the end of the video. Recrapped. Nice.